What's good? I know y'all been waiting. Forgive me. Thank you for being patient. You know, a girl had to get the mood right because I got the homie playing in the background, but also I like to take my time and make sure that everything is good. Like I'm following Spirit's direction. So I made him choose what he wanted me to wear, how he wanted me to style my hair. Because he's like, I want people to acknowledge that you are a queen, like you are beautiful. I love your locks, etc. So I actually took some advice from a friend of mine who was saying to me, yo, whenever you feel overwhelmed and stressed, just take a nice cold shower. So I think I'm probably gonna make that like a habit to like just take a nice cold shower. It really relieves stress. It just calms the body. So that way I can get right back into it. And I'm sorry that I didn't get a chance to do any readings for the weekend, but I was spending time with my family, and I know a couple of people wanted me to book for Sunday, and I'm sorry about that I couldn't book with you guys. I just had family time, basically. Family prioritizes over everything, so it is what it is. But I will be free throughout this week. For those that were trying to book me on Sunday or those that wanted readings from me, I am available. Today we are talking about the wonderful Tupac Shakur. Birthday is June 16th, 1971. He's like, you better not fuck up my year. I got it. Anyway, so that's who we are focused on. I want to make sure the mood is right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he comfortable, I'm comfortable. So I'm just putting my incense down, and I'm about to grab this glass because I made this glass for him. So a little drinky drink for him kind of reminds him of a little Alizé, a little something like that, but not really, you know what I'm saying? But a little bit more classier, but it's still close enough. So, got the little drink, got the little hit in and everything. So let me just take a sip for him. Okay. So in this reading, we're going to be focused on a couple of things. I'm going to utilize him. Personally, for me, I know that he is an air sign. He's an air sign, but I find myself to be a bit conflicted between using the King of Swords, because I usually use that King of Swords for someone else, and it's not to say that he is not that King of Swords. Okay, well, that's true too. So I'm going to use this card right here. This is the King of Pentacles. Even though this is an earth sign, he is a Gemini. I'm very aware of that, but he's a very flashy, dressed nice, Dawn type of dude. And I'm going to put another card in the subconscious mind that really, I feel like this card more so represents him more than anything. I mean, look at this card. You know what I'm saying? The chest out, just the you know what I'm saying, speaking out of his mouth with the sword. You know what I'm saying? The wounds on the stomach, the chest out, like, just kind of looks like him when he was doing Juice. I really feel like I'm resonating with this card more because this is an air sign. I know he's a Gemini. So this would, indicate very rebellious, off the wall, says what he wants type of card. So I think I'm going to probably use that instead of the king. I'm just like, even though I want to acknowledge him as a king, this is like Knight of Swords, but I still want to, just get the essence of who he is. Like even in the face structure, it just looks so much like him, So I'm just going to go with that. And y'all already know I got my Oracle deck right here. We will definitely ask more spiritual questions, things of that nature with the Oracle deck, or just kind of go back and forth between the two so y'all know what's going on. And I'm going to start it off, but please let it be known that if you all want to ask questions below, I will check in and read those questions that you all have. So that's the reason why I go live, because it gives you guys the opportunity to ask me questions, to be brave and to basically ask whatever y'all want. because I want this to be a comfortable session for everybody, just everybody involved, all right? So let me start. So I'm just going to see what his energy, Tupac Shakur, and keep in mind his name is an Incan name, from a very powerful Incan leader who was actually trying to beat the Spanish conquistadors at the time to protect Machu Picchu. So in essence, this is like no different from, from his own personal upbringing, given the fact that he comes from a mother who was a part of the Black Panthers, and he had this destiny within his own name from the time that he was born to revolutionize the thought processes of people in general, with the attribute of using his, his talent, but also his ability to speak on political views. You know what I'm saying? Like to speak on political views and to really express that to a younger generation, to learn from his mistakes, but also to, see what they can do to change socioeconomic statuses in the hood or, in anybody's hood for that matter. So I really fundamentally appreciate him. I appreciate him that, him for that. This is interesting. Alrighty. So there seems to be something that he wants to kind of get off of his chest, I'm assuming, because he's already jumping into to certain things. And I'm looking at, in the past, he's kind of showing me that he's like, my life, it just happened so quickly. Like things just happen so fast. Things just happen very quickly. There was just this rampant success. There was just this, so many things that I had to persevere and push myself through, and I had the energy to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I want my legacy to continue to push on that energy because I want people to understand that my death should not be taken in vain. It's just a new chapter of my life. So that's number one. In the root, we have the 5 of Cups. This would kind of be an indication of kind of just dealing with, kind of feeling like just losses, emotional losses. You know what I'm saying? In reference to either personal relationships or just the way overall how the circumstances might have treated him, basically. So I think that he's still harboring some of that hurt, some of the disappointment, and wanting to try to find peace from that. But it's showing me in the situation, the 6 of Swords, he's not moving on from certain things. He feels as if there's something that needs to be communicated in order for him to properly find closure and find healing. And I'm just gonna assume, because usually this is my card, so I'm assuming he's placing me in his subconscious mind, and he's putting up the 2 of Swords. That would just basically indicate to me that he's like, this is on his crown, basically explaining, we're going to meld minds so I can communicate how I feel. That's just kind of how I take it, talking about how he's like kind of cutting his losses short. But he really wants to talk about specific things pertaining to his demise. So the 10 of Swords has come out. Because he knows, he's like, let's just get to it, because I know that's what everybody else wants to talk about. Like, that's what people want to talk about. And people need to understand something that's a little bit more significant to the outplay of the treatment of my death, or of the depression that I've been through, and the struggles and the backstabbings of what I've gone through. And I'm trying to figure out who this energy is. He's saying this is in-house. And when he's saying in-house, he's not talking about like people that grew up with him or that were around him. He's explaining to me that this is more so from the label standpoint. He ain't playing today. He's like, we just gonna get right up into it because I ain't even gonna waste no fucking time. So anyway, Four of Wands, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is talking about how things were becoming extremely successful for him. But this is more so in-house, and it's showing me disagreements, is what I'm seeing. So when I'm showing this level of disagreements, it's kind of like you see two faces going that way and two going this way, okay? So it's like, I'm just gonna introduce this person too. I really feel like this is Suge. I don't know Suge's birthday. If you all can find out what Suge Knight's birthday is, but I just feel like, just especially with the red and the stomach and everything, it just feel like, I don't know, it just keeps talking about Suge. Dealing with disagreements, dealing with certain disagreements about what people wanted to do. People were kind of like, it's showing four men kind of going in their own destiny. So let's think about it. We had, Tupac, we had, Snoop, we had Dre. I mean, I'm assuming Suge too, maybe. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like so many different, people that were a part of that death row clique. And it's showing me like everybody kind of wanted their own way. People wanted their own way. It kind of created levels of disagreements. Okay? And he's saying that he knows that this was a part of his, well, that makes a lot of sense. Somebody said April 19th is his birthday. This is a fire sign card. So he's an Aries. He's like Aries Taurus Cup. But he's on the cusp, but he's definitely that fire King of Wands energy. So he's definitely talking about Suge right here. He knows that this was a part of his divine faith. Thank you, Lisa, for donating. Let me just keep going. I'm sorry. He knows that this was a part of his divine faith. This was a part of his divine path, no matter what was going to occur and what was going to happen to him. He does feel as if certain things that people are not giving him the respect that he deserves when it comes down to his own music, when it comes down to his own, I don't know why I keep seeing this, but it's like, it's funny how people kind of talk about getting like a 70-30 or whatever, but I'm supposed to get that 70. Like, it's like reflecting upon his worth, basically, and knowing that his worth is much more. And he's kind of, it seems to be like he's kind of a bit upset because it's like showing me that he wanted to kind of use his money to help people that were in need, but the people that got their hands on the money were just greedy, still selfish, still not considering, taking care of younger generations that are supposed to, be taken care of. And that's just kind of how he feels about that. Let me see. I'm just going to go through some questions really quick. How did I feel when he died? Okay, I'm going to answer that really quick. That will probably give me a chance to answer some questions. As far as how I felt when he died, it like threw me. I don't think I really processed it that well because, to be honest with you, I'm like the complete opposite of who most of y'all follow of X, because he's a huge Biggie fan, which, I love Big, all that other stuff, but Tupac just hit, like, that was he was like the only artist that was like on my walls, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had like, that infamous, Thug Life poster on my wall. I had like a black light poster. It was kind of like, what was it made out of? What was that fabric? Kind of like it felt like velvet or something. And then it had it was pink, and I bought it from LA. That was when I went out to LA, and it was the last poster because I knew that I went out to LA like shortly after he passed away. And I just wanted to have that poster. I was like, dude, I gotta get that poster. And it has, what is it? In the Eyes of My Demise or something, that poem, and it was like hot pink and then glue in the dark, you know, just really dope. And even the picture, you know, that black and white picture where he's like on the bike and he has like the leather suit on and he's like, you know, posing in his like black vest and everything. I had that poster. Like the reason why I feel like I was so drawn to Pac was because of the fact that I saw him more like a father figure to me, because there are a lot of people out there that grew up without dads, that didn't really have any type of direction. And he understood that aspect of so many children, fatherless children, broken children, children that come from broken homes, from displacement. And I just admired the fact that he could use his artistic abilities to, you know, convey his pain and his hurt, and that he was intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was extremely intelligent. And it's like I could resonate with his political beliefs. You know what I'm saying? Like, still to this day, I feel like that man was one of the men that raised me, like, honestly. Other than my mom playing Bob Marley constantly in the house, you know what I'm saying? Tupac was who I personally listened to find inspiration. And I think that I was in complete doubt, the same way that you guys are in complete doubt about his passing and shit. Nah, bro, like, I'm like, it can't end like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just can't go like that. Because he was bigger than an American hero. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a hero of the people. He was a hero of the impoverished. He was a hero of black women, in my personal opinion, regardless of how people feel about him or whatever the situation is. He kept it real. And that's what I loved about him the most, was that he was just very blunt and very honest. And I feel like I'm the same way too, and I just don't have no fucking filter. So so I just kind of feel like he, you know, he just really inspired me to just be okay with who I am and not really give a fuck about societal standards about what they think about me or how they feel about me or what they want me to do to change to make them feel comfortable. And I think that, you know, that's a huge, he was a huge inspiration for that. He was a huge inspiration for that. I'm just going to keep shuffling up these cards. Hold on, let me see. All right. Okay. So let me just see something really quick. I just want to read what you guys had to say before I continue. I'm sorry if I took forever with that conversation, but I really wanted to get that out there. Oh, my birthday twin. That's what's up, Taya. How does he feel about Suge? It's a very, like I said, a very complicated situation, but here's the thing. This is what I think that people don't understand about his death. Think about it this way. It's like watching, it's like he's showing me, like he's watching like a chessboard, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to outsmart everybody on the board. You have to outsmart any type of perception that people think that they're going to do to you, okay? So I'm just going to explain it like this. Imagine, you know, we have this concept of this West Coast, East Coast bullshit that we got going on, right? And let's just, that's the cover up. He keeps saying that's the cover up. He's really talking about this shit right now. He's like, I really want to talk about this. Talking about force. Like, he's a force to be reckoned with. He really wants to talk about this. So Ace of Swords is like, I'm going to talk about this. He's like multiple players. It's no different, like I said, like a chess piece. And he's observing his surroundings. He's observing everything that's going on around him. He's meditating on it. He's thinking about his choices, all of the different choices, looking at the two parties that have their own emotional investment in this particular person. You understand? So it's more than just like this East Coast, West Coast thing. That's like the prime, he's like, that's the surface. He's like, that is just completely the surface of it all. That's the surface. Okay? he appreciates the fact that people were debunking or just going through his music and like creating like so much expression and really understanding like his hidden messages. He feels like this just like created like this mythological energy around him, and he loves that. He completely loves that. But here's what people don't understand. He's putting the Page of Cups in a situation. Selfish, self-entitled young people that were in the space of actually taking on the responsibility of playing a game that was bigger than them, is what he's saying. Because they didn't want the party to end. That's what he's saying. Certain deals or certain conversations are made behind the scenes to not only pin rappers against each other, but it's also to benefit a larger entity. That's what I keep hearing. This is an opportunity to benefit a larger entity. So he's kind of like talking about, again, see, we got big right here. He's kind of showing me like this is big, got that Taurus, cusp Gemini energy, you know what I'm saying? Creating this opportunity to where the opportunity, three of wands, to where they create division between the two. They restrict both of them. They tell them what to do. They tell them, they fuel this situation between them. So everybody's just kind of like going along with the situation of the combat of going back and forth with one another, all for the sake of not only making money, but it's like I feel him like touching my heart right now. It's like I feel him like kind of showing me that these two were casualties of a destiny that they didn't know where they were going. They had no idea where they were going. It was extremely reckless energy. You know what I'm saying? And I guess the significance of that is to put, I'm being very careful with my words because he's extremely articulate and he wants me to make sure that I'm capturing the energy as genuinely as possible. So when I do this, forgive me, but I gotta, take my time and make sure that I'm speaking on everything that he wants me to say. So it's just like when you look at this particular situation of where everything is so surface and it's on the basis of two artists or two rappers like getting involved with each other and they're just creating like this commonality of beef between one another. That's not what it's about. It's basically about a situation to where it's easier for, and I'm just gonna say it, I'm a little nervous to say it myself, but he's like, say it, just say it, speak for me, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this is on his behalf. It's just like where it's convenient to create media to entertain the masses, but not only that, it's to sacrifice two brothers and control two brothers and their destinies in order to stop a larger revolution from occurring. Think about that. That's some heavy ass shit. And I guess like the feeling that I got when my heart was like really crushed, it's just like, I think that he really felt like he was doing his best to kind of, like I said, continue on his success. And sure, he was reckless. Sure, he said whatever the fuck he wanted to say. That's just how he is, But he really felt like there were a lot of ops in the game. A lot of ops. You know what I'm saying? And it just kind of scared the shit out of him. It really scared him. That's what I keep getting. Like, it just scared him. Like, damn, I work with these people. Or damn, I was just rapping with this rapper and I thought I was cool with this nigga. Like, I thought everything was all good, but it's for a bigger ploy or for a bigger game because of his history, because of what he was born into. And he's talking about that too, talking about his auntie. Like, talking about his auntie and everything. Miss Assata Shakur, the great, wonderful, beautiful Assata Shakur. who was wrongfully accused of killing a police officer, and she had to flee for her life away from bounty hunters. I mean, the U.S. government. So anyway, this is, you know, a situation to where it's much bigger than you guys can actually, can really understand with what's happening or what's going on. Because everything is so surface, and when the media has some sort of form of control over what they can say about you or what has happened to you, you know, people just naturally believe what they're being told instead of challenging higher authorities. I feel like this is like something where I'm just like completely like freestyling and shit, because usually I'd be ready to turn over cards and shit, and he's just like, he's a communicator. This man loves to talk. Like, he loves to talk his ass off. He loves to talk, and I just, you know, it's like, I gotta let him do his thing, because it's, you know, it's like, this is my, he was someone who influenced me tremendously. He was someone that I completely admired. I was like completely obsessed with California and wanting to move out to California and go to Venice Beach, and I went to Venice Beach, and I would just think like, damn, you know, like, this is where he walked, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm walking where he walked or whatever. I was just like completely mesmerized, you know what I'm saying? Just mesmerized by this man, because like I said, it wasn't, I think what it is, and I don't want people to get it confused, because people will be like, oh yeah, you thought he was cute or whatever. I adored this man as, like I said, like an uncle, father figure, something that I thought that, you know what I'm saying, like all men should be. They ain't gonna be perfect. They're not gonna be like the best role models out there, but they're definitely gonna try. They're gonna acknowledge a woman when they see a woman, and they go and acknowledge a bitch when they see a bitch, and they go and acknowledge a hoe when they see a hoe. Like what he did, and this is the debate, because I know a lot of people be like, oh, well, what about, who would you choose? Tupac, Biggie, which one would you choose? You have to understand, Big definitely held down New York. All right, let's give it that. Pac was born from New York, first of all, right? So he's born in New York, same way, didn't grow up there, okay? So that's the difference. He grew up in Baltimore or in the Maryland area, and then he transitioned and moved out to California. So with his own style, the way that he talks, the way, you know, his upbringing is, and how he changed like this idea of West Coast hip hop. This was something to where I feel like I would call him like, you know what I'm saying? Like the real bi-coastal rapper, like somebody that can really come from the East Coast and then just go out West and do his thing. You know what I'm saying? And just completely change the world and blow up. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes he kept saying, you know, the hard part about being a rapper on the East Coast is that, you know, there wasn't enough room. He's like, there's just not enough room. And especially, you know, if you ain't really coming up with a clique or anything like that, you asked out. So you kind of have to like, you know, boss up with some people and just do your thing. And at the end of the day, if the West Coast gonna pay me, then I'm gonna be repping the West Coast. If the West Coast take care of me and feed me and make sure that I'm eating, I'm going to be representing the West Coast, because he's like, I struggled. I completely straight up struggled when I was going through that process of being on the East Coast. So it's nothing personal. It's where I'm from, but I'm going to rep the West Coast because they was feeding me at the time. So that's just what it is. Okay, let me get back to shuffling up some cards. Let me see if you guys have any questions. I'm sorry, I'm just like kind of all over the place. You're on point. Thank you for allowing Tupac to speak truthfully. Respect all the way. How does Pac feel about the circumstances surrounding his death, more so how his case went cold, killer circumstances and weapons? You see, this is the thing that's kind of interesting, and I'm glad that I kind of read your questions, because I know Lisa was just talking about the beef with Biggie and everything, and I just kind of touched on that. Again, it's like when you have, it's like, think about it. Pac was like not only calling out Big, you know what I'm saying? He was calling out Puff. He was calling out, you know, Mobb Deep. He was calling out Jay-Z. And I think that he really wanted to probably change certain people that he went after is what I'm feeling, you know, because everybody wasn't on the same shit. But he's like, look at the puppets that are still at the top. Look at the puppets that he's like, look at the puppets that made it. Look at the puppets that are still at the top. He's like, are those niggas like really, really thug life? I guess they're corporate thug life. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations, they played the game as far as being a puppet and just keeping quiet until things happen in its convenience to make room. You know what I'm saying? But are they really lyricists? Were they really that sick? Did they really have it like that? Or was that all that you guys were left with? He's like, is that all that you guys were just left with? And y'all just gravitating towards niggas because you don't have no other fucking choice, because your leaders are dead. Because your leaders are gone. Because your leaders are not allowed to take the stance of having a large platform the same way that a commercialized person would actually have that platform. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Let me shuffle these cards really quick. And then I'm going to use the Oracle cards next. Let's just see if he wants to talk about his death or his passing. He's he's showing me a couple of other things, but he's like, shh. So I'm going to respect his wishes, okay? When you got ancestors around, you respect their wishes. Because I noticed something, and it's like so blatantly obvious. But it's like he's teaching me, it's like, I want to talk about this. Like, he's like, carefully talk about it. Carefully talk about it. Okay, so he's like, they're rappers that are in the game, right? I mean, he's like, they still do this shit to this day. There are a lot of rappers in this game. Forgive me if I look a little relaxed, but, you know, little thug passion juice got me chilling. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people come into this game, and some are legit people that come from the streets. Some people are just phony as fuck, and they're actors. And there's some people that are actors that rap, and they are informants. You know what I'm saying? There's 3 different types of people. So basically, it's a situation where he's saying, I was in 2 of those lanes. I understood the streets. I was raised by the streets. I grew up in the streets. But I was also talented enough to use my ability in education to educate myself and to still be a phenomenal actor. But I still portrayed the truth of who I am within my rap career, but I still allow myself to show other black men that they have the opportunity to diversify their thought process and to be bigger. But you have the third people, he's like, let's get to number 3. He's like, you got the third people out there that are just like straight up feds. He's like, they straight up feds. He's like, think about this. He just keeps saying, think about this, you guys. Let's think about this. Let's be critical thinkers, right? So if you have certain people that constantly getting harassed by the police, on a consistent basis, they're constantly harassed by the police. And you see certain people ain't really touched by the police like that. They're not really touched by the police. But all the time you see this man being targeted by the police on a consistent basis, but you see other rappers, big rappers that are still around today that don't get touched by the police. He's like, maybe you guys should just take a seat, just take a step back and think about it. Think about the dynamics of what you have to go through. Of what you have to go through. I'm just gonna say what he said. He's like, what you gotta go through just to be a cooning ass nigga. The shit that you gotta go through just to be a cooning ass nigga, basically. Just to basically survive and not have to be harassed by the police and do whatever it is that they ask you to do. So that way you can play the game in the most convenient way possible and not create any type of destruction, because they're going to use 2 rappers as as examples. As examples. You know what I'm saying? To show people how this game is going to go, basically. So let's see what we got with these oracle. See, you must be wanting to use the oracle cards. I'm going to shuffle this up one more time. And then we're going to jump into the oracle deck, I promise. So let me see. So he's definitely talking about his death right now. Wow. Okay. So let me show you guys the cards. I'm glad that I took my time shuffling this because sometimes you just talk the way through and just let everything happen the way it's supposed to. So here we go. Here you go right here in the center. We got the Chariot. Okay, in the root. Right there. Tower card. Disruption. Something that was coming, and he knew it was coming. Look at this. Look at him. Look like he got his whole face up in there. He knew that the situation was coming. He knew how he was going to die. Subconscious mind. Death card. You know what I'm saying? Putting all these different aspects together. In the past, again, he's just reflecting on his death. Right? Reflecting on the death, reflecting on the sudden moves of what has happened to him in the car. He's saying that he refused to work. He's like, I refuse to work. I refuse to work with individuals that wanted to degrade my dignity. And I don't have it in myself to, he's like, I'm gonna just be blunt. Sometimes I feel like I need to close my eyes and just say what he needs to say. I don't have it in me to basically be nobody's bitch or bend the fuck over just to convenience nobody else, because that's not what makes you a man, just to make money. And I refuse to be that nigga. I refuse to be that bitch. Everybody else can be on some Mason Boulay fraud ass type shit, but I ain't dropping my motherfucking drawers. Basically, you still see certain niggas, you know, that were a part of Bad Boy, that were a part of, you know, fucking Death Row and moved on to other fucking things. It's because they already dropped their fucking drawers, and I'm not that fucking nigga. Plain and simple. That's just not me. You ain't gonna get me to fucking sit here and say, oh well, since we can't blackball you, we can't just turn you the fuck off. We gotta basically do something fucked up to you to get you out of the game. We gotta catch you driving to get you the fuck up out of the game, to get you up out of the game, right? Okay. He is showing me like this is more so towards like the near future. And again, when I'm talking about situations like this, he's showing me that this is something that's very orchestrated, that this is something that is calculative from the aspects of, I'm going to say, he's saying higher government, from higher government to low-ranking bitches is what he's saying. I'm just going to say exactly how he feels, because that's just how he feels, you know. So to low-ranking bitches that was being promiscuous hoes for the feds. He is funny. I'm sorry. I love, like, it's just great. I love it. He's kind of, I want to show y'all like into the near future. He's saying like, I don't want people to sit there and worry about me too much. I know that this is what other people are worried about, but I am around good people. This is near future. He's like, I'm around good people. I'm communicating with good friends, good family. And this is like an indication of saying that this is the wealthiest aspect of his life, to be able to move into a spiritual space and be around his family. And again, he's like, don't say too much. Six of Swords, moving on to a different aspect. Moving on to a different aspect of life. You know, swiftly moving on to a different aspect of life, to be reunited with family, to stand firm in his beliefs despite what people tried to do to him. and he remained faithful. He remained faithful to his own spirituality. He remained faithful to his own people. He remained faithful to his family, and knowing the principles of what his mother has taught him, and how he is supposed to portray himself as a man to the best of his ability. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna keep going with the reading. I just wanted to like kind of, you know, chill or whatever. Thank you for following me on TikTok. I know I need to like do my thing real quick. So I'm gonna put my plug in real quick, and then we're gonna use the Oracle deck. Like I said before, we're gonna use this Oracle deck so we can follow up with more questions for Pac, or just, you know, focusing on more on his energy. So basically, plug really quick. Y'all can hit me up at queenprodigy369@gmail for personal consultations. I do readings for $40 for 30 minutes. Or if you all want to donate, however you all feel, you guys can do it in the super chat. You all can do it through Cashapp at queenprodigy369. Or you can, you know, use the email that I did for queenprodigy369@gmail for PayPal, Zelle, Google Pay, you know what I'm saying? However you want to do it, baby. I'll even give you my Venmo. Just hit me up. Just let me know, and I got you, you know? So I appreciate the donations. And if y'all don't even have it like that, it don't even matter. Y'all can hit me up on IG for consultations as well, queenprodigy0369 on IG. Links are also in the description when you hit my channel, so that way you can just get to the links. But on top of that too, you know, like it. I appreciate all y'all coming in right now and liking my video. It promotes my video. Sharing my video helps. You know, subscribing helps. So if y'all can just do those 3 things that are phenomenally free, I'd greatly appreciate it, because I love doing this and I love spending time with you guys. So moving forward, let's get into, I want to get into a couple of things. We're going to do this Oracle deck really quick, okay? And see, I don't think I've seen a question that a lot of people were asking, because funny enough, I got this new book, right? Let me show y'all. So this new book, I usually use a book so that way I can, you know, kind of write, and I'm going to just show y'all what it is. So that way y'all ain't trying to say, oh, you cheating. It's just birthdays, names and birthdays that I like to write down. This is a fresh new book, and he's like, don't write me in that old shit. He's like, he used up that old ass book for so fucking long. He's like, don't put me in that old shit. Put me in that new shit. So, so putting him in the new shit, basically. So, you know, because he's like going to be the first, you know, one to take over that. I want to focus on his mother, and I also want to focus on Jada. And I think that I want to start off with Jada, because I haven't seen any questions for that, but I just kind of wanted to do, you know, to do the energy of how he feels, you know what I'm saying, about Jada. You know, they have something that's like extremely close, you know, very close and very real. So I just feel like this is something that will probably, I just want to see what he has to say to her, you know. So what I'm doing right now, going through the cards, because I'm trying to find his specific card. I'm going to use the Thinking Man for him. So let me just give me 1 second. I already got Jada out. So, let me see. When's her birthday? Oh, okay. He's like, nah, use that one. Okay. Because I was going to use this other card, but he likes this one. Woman holding a heart. You know what I'm saying? Even though this is more like a water sign card, I think this is, and I know she's a Virgo, but it's just like, you know, he just feels like the love that she has for him is just, you know, it's unbelievable, and that love is still there, basically. So he wants me to use this card. So Thinking Man, this is him right here. All right. So I'm going to shuffle up my Oracle deck, and we're just going to relay Jada's birthday, which is September 18th, 1971. We know that Tupac's birthday is is June 16th, 71. Forgive me. I feel like, I'm telling you, every time that I'm trying to do something, this man be talking in my ear. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. He be talking in my ear. He's like, listen. He's like, listen, you know, I think everybody kind of had like this low-key obsession with me with finding my one true love or whatever it is. He's like, look, I love all the ladies. I'm sorry, but I love all the ladies. He's like, I still love all the ladies. I can't help it. That's just the kind of man that I am. He's like, you know, I'm a lion, baby. Like, I'm a lion. You know what I'm saying? I'm the king of the jungle, and I love all the ladies. I'm like, why wouldn't I be able to listen to a woman and understand what she's going through and her pains and everything else? And I know all women can't get down with it. You know what I'm saying? They're all not down with the situation. Oh, that's what you were showing me earlier. Okay. I'm going to loop something back in from the first set that I did with his cards. I think he wants me to talk about this ASAP. Because he was showing me a female energy that was working in cahoots. And I know that a lot of people probably want me to talk about her, and I'm going to talk about her after. I'm like, I know he has me jumping all over the place. Let me just focus on Jada for right now, because that's kind of some heavy ass energy right there. So it's about somebody that he was engaged to, actually. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know about that energy. That's all I'm going to say for right now. But we're going to focus on Jada and Pac. Just focus on his energy and how they both feel for each other. What is the result of this? What will happen moving forward? Okay, he's ready. See, whenever I feel chills in my body, that means that they're focused. You know what I'm saying? That means that they're focused. It's like a focused energy. Okay. Here we go. So in the past, we have the garden and the gate, basically respecting a level of boundaries, basically never kind of crossing certain boundaries, wanting to cross boundaries, but kind of just keeping it very, very sweet, very sentimental between the two of them. That's what I feel, very, very sweet, sentimental between the two of them. He saw, I think what it is that he admired her innocence. You know what I'm saying? He really admired her innocence. And I think that he was very protective over her like a sister, but definitely loved her very much, but just respected her as if like there was a brother-sister type of bond. You know what I'm saying? Like just having a different level of respect for her is what he's showing me. The strength card is in the subconscious mind. I placed him on her crown. So angel of strength. Basically, she feels like she takes a lot of strength from the connection that they share, that she feels as if like there's something whenever she needs anything or needs somebody to talk to. He's the one giving her the courage to push forward in her life. And she really does turn to him on spiritual levels. So she's showing me like angel of strength. Like I said, like he's the lion and she's like the beautiful angel. And that's just kind of how they see each other. He's kind of showing me things were not in the root. Is basically showing me storm warning. I just kind of feel like he's kind of saying there were a couple of different disagreements between us that we were kind of going through, and because she was taking a different path in her career and I was going down a tumultuous space within my own career. And it's like I'm hearing her say, I don't know how to anchor you down. And he's like, you can't control me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the energy that keeps going back and forth, and her being very concerned, and him, I think it's something that they both don't understand, but it's like he was like pushing her away to keep her away from, just keep her away from his activities, his toxic behavior. He's like, this is my toxicity. I take full responsibility for that. I take full responsibility for you know, any miscommunication that, you know, we had going on between us. This is what came up in the situation, and I'm trying to figure out how to interpret this, but this is the deceit card. maybe somebody led somebody on to believing something and someone feels a little maybe slighted by the situation. Just kind of feeling like maybe, and again, here it is with the storm warning card again. It's like wanting to probably go into certain directions. Maybe he had strong feelings for her. Maybe he didn't want to change, and maybe she just wanted something that was more clean cut and regular, basically. And it just kind of left each other feeling like a bit disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Just pretty disappointed in specific results of like how things are, basically. He feels like that makes sense. Okay. So he's showing to me like she was more so focused on her branding. And I don't know why he's bringing this up. So I don't know why I just keep hearing like the Wayans brothers for whatever reason. Like maybe she was working on a movie at the time and he was doing his own thing and they were in communication with each other. But I just kind of feel like maybe people in the media or in the industry were just kind of wedging them away from one another in order to keep her image clean and to just kind of separate them. That's just kind of how I'm feeling. Moving on into the near future, he's showing me Archangel Samuel basically promoting a lot of self-love, doing his best to be there for her spiritually on that level. He does appreciate the fact that she uses her platform to speak up, to share the world about how amazing he is as a person and to continue to honor him. And he's kind of talking shit about her marriage. He's talking shit about her marriage. Will and Jada, I do love y'all. I really do. But he's really talking shit about the marriage or whatever. Like, sometimes I think that he's showing me, like, sometimes I wonder, like, if I'm, like, in a selfish position of being her husband or something like that, if things would have been different. But I wonder if it would have affected her differently. And I guess maybe he's just, like, it's like, this is something that she's choosing. She's choosing her marriage. She's choosing her family. And I'm not trying to knock that. But when it comes down to putting on a front, he's like, I just don't understand it. He's like, if you want to find happiness and be happy, why do you always talk to me about it? And I don't mind you talking to me about it, but these are things that you chose for yourself. These are things that you actually chose for yourself. He wants her to find personal healing and happiness. He wants her to find the door to personal healing and happiness within herself. I think he's really reflecting on her for whatever reason, like truly focused on her energy. He's showing me the door to spirit, like when you cross over, when you transition over, I'm gonna be there. You already know I'm gonna be there. It ain't even no question. It's no question about you having to worry about anything. You already know I'm gonna be there. He's like, I'm already connected to your third eye. I see you in your dreams. We talk all the time. But sometimes it's like he feels like he can't really do much other than to encourage her and to support whatever it is that, that they feel. It's like whenever she dreams about him or talks to him, she's so happy. You know what I mean? And I think that they're in that space of wonderment of what could have been, how could things have been if they didn't allow, certain situations to kind of get in the way. But that's just kind of like life. You know what I'm saying? Life just kind of gets in the way, but they still have a very close bond to each other. They still talk to each other on a very regular basis, and they make each other laugh. They still talk to each other. That's all I keep hearing. It's like through third eye conversation, they still communicate with each other and bring a lot of joy and happiness into each other's lives and have fond memories. It's like, he's like, I'll send random fond memories of myself to her, and she'll just sit there and laugh and maybe, reminisce and just feel good. And that's how I want to keep her, because sometimes it's like you can have memories with people that you live with and they still probably, take you for granted because you're around them all the fucking time. You're taking care of their kids all the fucking time. You're there. You're doing everything that you can all the fucking time. But when that nigga gone and he on trips and he doing whatever the fuck he's supposed to do, guess what? Guess who's the nigga that's showing up to take care of your ass when you upset and you ain't got nobody else to talk to? I am. So I think that they have like this interesting like spiritual like marriage. It's like something else. It's like more than just a marriage. It's like a, you know, brother, sister, loving kind of thing that could have definitely turned into something romantic. But I think that they just kind of kept it platonic because they were in two different spaces. They were just in two different spaces. Like I said, like I see that she's trying to, it's like, he's like, you know, I took dirty Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? I took the hard way. I'm a rapper. Like the society kind of pigeonholed me into that specific belief or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like they kind of pigeonholed him into that aspect, and she was just trying to stay on the path, stay on doing a little acting, stay on, you know, that clean cut. Everybody loved Jada in Hollywood, and he knows that it would just affect her career, you know, and they just had so many disagreements about that, you know, about what he was supposed to do. And she's like getting on him. I hear her I'm hearing her right now. He's like showing me like, you know, she would bark at me all the time about like how we, you know, would grow up and the things that we were inspired to be and everything. And, you know, I was still doing a lot of fuck shit. I was still fucking hoes. I was still doing my fucking thing. I didn't give a shit. Like, I just didn't give a fuck. And it's not that I didn't love her. I love her. I heard her. I hear what she has to say. And I think that's the reason why she holds on to so much pain and hurt, because of the fact that she tried to, you know, she just tried to be there. She tried to be the big sister, the mother figure, the role model, the best friend. She tried to be everything that she could for him. And I think that he tried to be everything that he could for her. Even in his transition, he's doing that. Like, you know, on the other side of everything, he's doing his best to support her through her own emotional battles that she doesn't show on camera. And he's like really getting on her about that. But he's like, I'm going to make her happy. I'm going to do everything that I can to give her peace and healing and make her happy. Because I talk to her and she knows that I talk to her. She knows that whenever she wants a sign from me, whenever she needs me, I'm right there. I'm right there. She ain't got to worry about nothing. She don't have to worry about nothing. She's just seeing things from a different aspect, because this must be him, because I swear he's just going off. Like he like, she just sees things from a different aspect, because fuck, that's heavy. That's heavy to say, but I'm gonna just say it, because she's trapped. Because everything that's glamorous and that's pretty ain't all of what it seems. And on some level, he has a level of freedom that nobody can really take away from him, you know? And she loves her family, she loves her children, all that. But that's just something that he's like, you know, I signed up for some shit, but there's some shit that I'm just not gonna do. That's just how he feels. He's like, there's just certain things that I'm just not going to do. And she knows that. He's very determined. So they always have a love for each other. There's always going to be some level of respect and love there. I'm sorry, I'm just using, trying to find his mama really quick, so forgive me. But he really has like a very strong love for Jada. You know what I'm saying? Okay, here she is. Very strong love for Jada. That's definitely a thing. Let me just look at these questions really quick. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, but I'm just like, that's just how he's feeling. Drink one for me and Pot Queen. I'm about to drink that real quick. Yeah, his energy is strong. The tea is delicious. Thank you. Oh, absolutely. No problem. Like I said, I don't know if there's any other questions. I'm sorry. I'm like scrolling through. Quincy Jones' daughter was the love of his life. I believe he was going to marry her. Do you have her birthday by any chance? Does anybody know? Is it Kidada? I can't remember. I think that's her name, but I can't, I don't know her birthday. So if anybody can look that up, I'd appreciate that. Because I like to look into her energy and figure out what's going on with that. I have no problem doing that. And he's kind of showing me, and we were just kind of like talking about this too. I'm gonna do this reading about his mama. Yeah, Kidada Jones. If y'all have like her birthday, please share her birthday below. And now focus on her and see how he feels about her. But I'm gonna focus on his mama for now really quick. Okay. Did Tupac know his purpose from a young age? Yes, I believe so. Yes, absolutely. So March 22nd. All right, just give me a minute. I'm just going to focus on mama really quick. I just keep saying, like, I got to focus on my mama. Like, that's what I keep. Alrighty. Wow. Okay. So she's definitely talking about, wow, mama ain't playing. Okay. Let me get a drink real quick. I need a little drink because look here. All the Alizé I'm about to spill right now is gonna get crazy. Hold on. So anyway, let's get into it. Mama got something to say. Miss Afeni has something to say, basically. This is the combined energy between her and her son. Taking action in the subconscious mind. Two people taking action, moving forward with one another on a spiritual level. That's how I'm going to keep it. Transitioning, going through the process of transitioning, but knowing the fact that she's saying something to me that's extremely heavy. I feel like they're both with each other and they're holding hands. That's how I see them. Like they're holding each other's hands and he's like really embracing her. But it's a situation where Happy Family is in a situation, and this is not pertaining to her and her son. This is pertaining to people that she considered family, that took advantage of her and her son's legacy is what she's communicating. That you can't really trust the people around you because people will try to make it seem like it's one way. And when you make plans to move forward, to take care of your life or to retire your life away from a country that has not been good to you, and your son has done so much to protect you and to provide for you, and people, even in your own family, will betray you just for their own personal successes, for their own personal well-being, instead of allowing you to be free. That's what she's saying. She is showing me Archangel Michael is in the root, basically knowing that no matter what happens on this planet, Archangel Michael will battle all of those demons. And it's kind of funny because she's like, you know, everything that people think that they're going to get away with and run off with certain money, with certain hard work that we worked for, you know, it does definitely come back. It comes back in so many different forms. So this is never the end, is what she's saying. Temple path. Finding each other, just being completely spiritually connected to her son and knowing that she's going to see her son. And they have a very strong communication with each other. Again, he loves using this third eye. He loves using Archangel Metatron, connecting with the third eye, saying that I was always in touch with my mother. No matter what happened on a spiritual level, death cannot separate us. I don't give a shit what nobody got to say. Death cannot separate me from my own fucking mama. Now, since people want to talk about, and here's the thing too. Now, I know that I used this card as Jada before, but I'm feeling a different energy off of this. I'm actually not going to say no names. I'm going to focus on Kidada in a minute. But whoever this female is was extremely deceptive and jealous of the bond between him and his mother. That's all I'm going to say. It's a very deceptive situation. So I'm going to see who that is, basically. Let me focus. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on Kidada. I'm going to focus on her energy. Do y'all want to keep using the Oracle cards, or y'all want to use the regular tarot? I don't know which one to do. Let me just, matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just give these a rest for a minute, because I'm gonna try to use this deck, go back to this deck, and I'm gonna find Kidada's card. She is, funny enough, it's hilarious. Yo, he's saying so much. He's like, her birthday, he's very playful. I feel like he's extremely playful, but I'm like, I feel like if I say it, people might think that I'm trying to be a hater or some shit. He's like, whatever, just say it, because, you know, I'm playing around with it, whatever, because it's funny to me now. Like, all this shit is funny. But he's just like, yo, her birthday on the date of the skull and bones and shit, so it really don't matter to me. Like, you know, women are his weakness. He's like, women are my weakness. It is what it is. Women are my weakness. It's true. Women are my weakness, you know? But I'm going to place, so I'm going to use this card right here, Queen of Cups. I'm going to just use that card as her, because I've already used that other card. And I'm just going to see what they have to say about her personally. What he feels about Kidada, if there's still loving energy there, if there's still some level of reciprocated energy there. I just want to see how he feels about Kidada, which is March 22nd, 74 with June 16th, 71. Alrighty. Let's see what we got. Okay. So basically what he's showing me with this is, he was like, this is not, how can I say it? So basically, she's on his crown, okay? What does he think of her? He put the world, he appreciates her. But there were situations to where he would go back and forth between, with his idealisms of love, I'm assuming, not being too sure, juggling, going back and forth. And I think that he really couldn't give the amount of attention that she was seeking from him, and that it was a problem because she was investing of, you know, her attention, her influences upon his career. But it was just very difficult to choose between the two, to choose between his passion and choose between trying to figure out his life, basically. Nine of Cups is in the root, basically. It's a very, you know, fulfilling time, pleasurable time, emotional, you know, time, basically, like very happy times. But he's kind of showing me that certain things still made him uncomfortable because the Nine of Pentacles is in the situation, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It's like he's kind of expressing to me, you know, things were nice, things were beautiful, but I just kind of feel like there was something in the background that made me uneasy. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it's because of the relationship with his with you know, Kidada's father or whatever, but it just made him uneasy. It made him unsure about certain things. Moving forward, Two of Wands, basically it's like there's always like this aspect of having like a comfortable partnership or a good friendship with this person. She has influenced other people to influence the youth and do other things within the aspects of creativity, and he admires that about her. But he is showing me that she has a new love, or she already has a family that she was working on, or someone that she's with. And I guess he's kind of giving his blessings in that. Maybe they have children. Maybe that's what I was picking up with those two pages from before. Maybe these two are children, you know, focusing on two babies or whatever. And she's moved on, and he's just kind of respected that. But I'm trying to figure out, like, what is going on with certain energies. So what I'm going to do is this, because I'm trying to, because I was talking about this whole situation with deception, jealousy, things like that. And I'm trying to figure out who this female is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm trying to find all the females in this deck. I want to see who he is talking about. And I'm going to position people in a specific way, okay? So I'm going to leave this card as Jada, okay, as we did before. This time I'm going to find my other card in this deck. Now I know that Kidada, she is March 22nd, but I'm going to use a specific card. Look at that, all the way at the bottom of the pile. Oh, no, okay. He's like, nope. So I'm going to use this as Kidada, okay? So we're going to use woman holding coin as Kidada. And this is a wild card. He's like, I keep hearing him just have a big smile on his face. And he's like, Lisa. Like, that's just what I keep hearing. So we're going to figure out who, see, who with these envious women are. I have a feeling it's definitely not Lisa. He has like a fond love for her. And we can get into that in a minute too. Just like, I'm just trying to figure out who was this hating ass female? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is this females that was like hating on you real quick, you know? And if certain cards just kind of come into certain positions, then I know what time it is. So, let me just, he's like, I'm ready. Okay, so just give me one more shuffle. And let's just see what we have, okay? So who was all tied up, trying to tie you down, huh? Okay, well, I guess you wanted to talk about that. A female did come up. Because I guess he wants to elaborate more on the disagreement or the specific disagreements that happen. Because I was trying to understand this envy card, why this envy card kind of came up, showing me all tied up, basically, trying to tie a nigga down, jealous of different females that I was with. You know, I do still have that strong love for her the same way that I had the love for her back in the day, Ace of, Angel of Love. Basically, that love is still strong. And he's confirming that with Archangel Michael, like my heart chakra is still open. But this person was impatient. They were not patient. They would not wait for me to kind of evolve. And he's not trying to hold her or trying to blame her for anything. It just kind of created a lot of tension between himself and other people, basically. And it just kind of, boiled over into their situation. He's like, now it's all good. Like, we're all good. We, happy family. Like, we're all good. We have like a healing understanding of it. But he was talking about Jada. Plain and simple. He must have been talking about Jada. Again, in a different life, in a different world, we probably would be married. We probably would be something that would be of more commitment. He does love her very much, door to spirit. He just keeps saying in another life, in another world, in another time. This was just not the time. You know what I'm saying? They're both impatient. They're both extremely impatient about the things that they want. Okay, so let me get into Lisa really quick. Let me find Lisa. Because he keeps saying, Lisa. Like, I don't know. I just kept hearing Lisa. So we're going to invite, I love this. Sometimes I'm happy that I'm able to talk about certain aspects and get the heavier shit out of the way pertaining to his, demise and everything, and focus on the things that are fun. You know what I'm saying? That are like a lot of fun for him. So let me shuffle this up really quick, because this is going to be the last thing, y'all, because your girl got like 15% on her phone, and yeah. So we're going to focus on the relationship between him and Lisa. I use her as thinking woman because she is highly intelligent, and I think that they have like this amazing chemistry with one another. And he's saying to me, you know that I wrote that song? Look at that. Split the deck. I was just about to mention this. He's like, I wrote Can You Get Away for Lisa. Look at that, Walking Away, Can You Get Away? He's like, I spoke that song into existence for Lisa because I knew that she was being mistreated. I knew that she was going through some shit, and I wanted to be that man to rescue her. Look at that, take her away. Look at that journey. Take her away. That's some crazy stuff. I love doing this with my cards. It's like completely, you know, very, very much in sync. All right, so let me just turn these over. Okay, well, okay, hold on. Cards are like, wait a minute. Not yet. Wow. Okay. Just give me one more shuffle. Probably a couple more because this deck is kind of splitting up. One more. We just focus on that. All right, here we go. Wow, okay. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Wow. Ooh. She ain't having that shit. I heard that. Okay, this is an interesting thing. First of all, let me show y'all really quick. So here's Lisa. Lisa and Pac are saying that they are with Mama. Okay? They're all together, victory. They're all together, basically victory card. They're all together. In the past, it's showing me door to romance. Very strong energy, very strong connection. They really didn't talk too much about this, but there was something here. And I think that maybe there still is something here that they are still very much attached to. They haven't let that go with each other. Maybe it's just certain things that they have, you know, that they personally went through. But I think that through finding healing and love, they're doing their best to like work out their differences is what they keep communicating. The door to personal healing and happiness is in the situation. So again, dealing with their own personal struggles, but knowing that they're so much alike, opening the opportunities to like I said, go through that passageway of changing the outcome of the type of life that they've been through, because they're showing me with the attachment card that this is not just between them, it's just about the struggles of what they've gone through pertaining to death. So this is something that they have both kind of like struggled with, and they're trying to find healing with that. Anyway, moving forward. So here we go. So basically it's just showing me the crown chakra, angel Euro, making the highest spiritual connection with one another, feeling very comfortable with each other. Showing me angel of strength. They feel very connected to one another. I think that they still kind of dally back and forth between what they both want at times, and they're kind of keeping it on a very platonic level. But like I said, they have this yin and yang balance between them. Like they just seem like the best way that he's describing it to me, he's like, I know she don't want me to say this, but I think Lisa would definitely be my twin flame. Like she's for real, like the mirror of me, you know what I'm saying? And they go through different, you know, choices. Sometimes they say, oh, we just gonna chill, or maybe, you know, we argue too much, we too much alike. But I think that with the situations that they're currently going through, I think that they'll definitely exercise this idea because it was like, from what it was showing me with the past, it was showing me like they had the opportunity for romantic situations, but they just had different situations kind of locking them down, putting them in different aspects. And so I think Lisa's the type that's just like, yeah, if you mind, I ain't gonna let this other bitch gonna come up in the way. Like, I'm the only option. That's what I keep hearing. So I think that he knows that, you know what I'm saying? And I think that maybe he's trying to be more serious this time about love. But it's just like he's such a flirtatious kind of guy. Like, she understands why all of the women just love him and throw themselves at him. But, she ain't having that shit, basically. So let's just hope that this is, that this is a thing. You know what I'm saying? That we can make this a thing. I think they were meant, for each other. They both, like, just have amazing personalities. And it's no offense to Jada, but you got your man and everything, and maybe in another life at another time. But I think these two need to be, what I'm saying, like this, like in a space of finding comfort and love with one another. Because I really dig that, because he just got so happy when he was saying Lisa. Like, he just got so like crazy when he was talking about Lisa. So anyway, I think that is about it for tonight. I don't see any other questions. I'm sorry, I think someone's asking me something. Will Pac come back as someone else? Funny enough, I think that that he's seen other people that have similar journeys like him. I don't know if he wants to. Let me just see. Do you want to be earthbound, basically? You know what I'm saying? I think that he might do it a little differently. He might change his circumstances to be more family oriented. If he does come back, basically, like, he would really want to focus on healing the dynamic of family in his life. That would be a primary thing for him. So it seems like he's happy where he's at. He is happy where he's at, but it's a situation to where it's something that he would have to think about. That's kind of what I'm feeling. Splitting the deck, walking away. He's like, I'm done. I'm done. So anyway, thank you all for supporting, for joining. But I appreciate all y'all. I'm a big fan myself. I really do think that Pac is like one of the ultimate best lyricists. And I'm sure I could probably argue that with different people, but he just had something about him that touched women, that touched men. And maybe it's because I'm a female. He was a rapper that accommodated women, from all types of levels, to extra freaky and nasty with how do you want it, to are you still down, to can you get away, to being this revolutionary type of guy. And I think like that's just something that was just ultimate for me. That was like something that I probably still look for in someone, to be, very inspirational, and to have the willpower to stand up against anyone and to speak their mind. So it's a beautiful thing. Thank you all for your time. I appreciate you guys so much. And please like, subscribe. I appreciate you guys joining me for this reading. Tomorrow, I think we got We got Big tomorrow. And then we got Pop Smoke. So stay tuned for all the Biggie fans or whatever. We're going to jump into that session too. We're going to have fun this week. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. And you have a wonderful night.